Welcome to Coaching Uncut, a special series on the Unstoppable Woman podcast, where I take you behind the scenes and give you a peek into the private coaching I do with my clients. All of these coaching calls have been recorded with the permission from my clients who have generously allowed me to share these with you as a way of helping more people in this world. They give you access to master level coaching and the opportunity to learn the lessons that they're learning right along with them. Please keep in mind that these recordings are not studio productions and the audio quality may be less than ideal, but the content will take you far and help you become unstoppable. With that, listen in and learn. In this episode of Coaching Uncut, you'll hear what's really behind exhaustion and how to triage exhaustion so you don't let it stop you. There are specific things that you need to look at and become aware of, and specific actions you need to take as well. If you ever have found yourself too exhausted to keep your commitments or get through your task list, then listen into this episode of Coaching Uncut to get all the details you need to break through this self-sabotaging behavior.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I've been having a lot of fun talking to my amazing upwardly mobile friends about the summit.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was like a pretty pleasant part of my day is when I was like, oh, I wonder who do I know that would really resonate with this? And I went through all my, my Facebook Messenger people and all the people who are just at Art of Success. And I was like, hey, are you going to, this is my favorite part. Hey, are you going to the Unstoppable Women's Summit? Mm-hmm. And some of them were like, oh yeah, totally. I have my ticket already. And some were like, ooh, what's that? And some were like, oh yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it. And like, oh, here's the link. Awesome. So there you go.
I love it.
So
Thank you.
So fun. Oh, well, it's my pleasure. I mean, it's a great way to connect with people who are thinking the same way as you are.
Yeah.
You talk about environment and like building the people who are around you. So it's pretty cool. It was a pretty cool exercise.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it.
So I actually did have something that I wanted to work through today. I found a stopping point that I wanted to talk with you about. So, one of my famous stopping points is that I get tired. Okay, so today I'm feeling like tired. I'm feeling tired. And then here comes the backup. Yeah, of course you're feeling tired. You've been working so hard. Oh my gosh, you just went through this workshop. There's so much to think about and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? I know this is a lie because if somebody asked me to go for a walk right now, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. So I know that piece of it is a lie and I must be tolerating something. And rather than believe that I actually am tired, which I'm not convinced is true, I decided to identify that as a stopping mechanism instead. It's still like one of those hanger-oners that my brain can still kind of get me to agree with sometimes. So, but I think what it is stemming from is now that I've like achieved a few things, and I still have I feel like a long list of things that are ahead of me, and at the same time, it's sort of like watching a river go by. There are things that are on my list that have been on my list for a while. So then my brain starts to tell me like, oh yeah, well, of course, you're never going to do any of those things because, you forget about it and you get distracted and you've been doing this all your life. And I don't know, I don't know where any of this is coming from, but so I want to kind of set all that aside and think about what the problem is. One of my problems is that of the things that I know are out there in the world that need to be, there are like a lot of check boxes out there that I'm still trying to kind of get to, and I don't want to feel overwhelmed about it, but I don't want to beat myself up about it. And at the same time, I don't quite understand like how to prioritize and set goals, because my stopping point kind of came. The first time I noticed it coming on was like, oh, geez, you're going to have to go back through all of your notes and see all the things that you didn't do. And that's so hard. And you're so tired. And wouldn't you rather just go home early, put your feet up, that kind of thing. So I think there's stuff around that for me.
Okay. This is really good that you brought this up. So when I hear someone that is getting to that exhaustion place and we've eliminated, did you get enough sleep? Have you, okay, are you eating well? Are you moving? Do you have at least some quiet time during the day, whether that's meditation or just chilling out or whatever it is, taking a walk? Like, if you can tick those boxes and you're still exhausted, then I ask the questions that have to do with being in integrity with yourself and guilt and shame.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Okay.
Right.
So, and then you went to this, like, all these things I haven't done. So, are you...
There's the guilt and shame.
Right. There's the guilt and shame, and there's the unspoken compact that you've made with yourself. You've made these commitments to yourself, and you haven't stayed in integrity with it, and then you feel exhausted because of this, okay?
Yeah.
It's really, and sometimes exhaustion also, so it's guilt, shame, integrity, and then it's also about up-leveling, okay? So as you're going for bigger goals, you are in conflict with your self-image of a person who doesn't do that, okay? Your internal self-image hasn't kept up with your conscious choices of where you're going, and you are on, full steam ahead right now, okay? So there's a internal conflict, and in some ways that is guilt and shame. That shame says that you're doing something wrong. Guilt says you've done something wrong. Shame says I am wrong. So your subconscious thinks you are wrong for going for more. Okay? And shame is exhausting.
Yeah. I am wrong. Yes, I still do hear that. I still do. I shouldn't. Oh, here we go. I shouldn't expect that to go away, right? It's been 51, 50 some odd years, 40 some odd years of this. I shouldn't expect this to go away. I don't want to go there anymore. I want to try to break that pattern of that. And in fact, David Nagel did say something over the course of it that kind of stuck with me, like I can't let it go. And that is, making decisions from where you want to be instead of where you are. And I can hear that. And
we said that in the coaching call when you were trying to make your decision. I was like, you have to make your decisions from where you want to be, not where you are.
That's right. That's right. So I still am experiencing a little bit of that. Well, where you are, ha ha. Like where you want to be, ha ha. I still get a little bit of feedback on that. Like you said, I haven't caught up yet. Like my internal self-image hasn't caught up with that yet. So it's that being out of the integrity thing that it, like you said, I think that's what I'm experiencing sort of as it is exhausting.
It is exhausting. Let's do some triage on it, okay?
Okay.
So the first thing you need to do is bring to consciousness all the unconscious commitments that you've made. Okay. So what have you said that you're going to do that you haven't done? Even if it's a little thing, like I'm going to sign Rex up for X, Y, and Z, or I need to clean out the closet, right?
There's a lot of those things. Yeah, I'm going to clean. I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to, get ready for the dog. I'm going to, exactly. Get this application in for, there's a whole bunch of stuff just came up. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Okay. So the act of taking that from this semi-conscious, it's kind of running in the background place, to putting it on a piece of paper and just being like, okay, these are my 50 commitments that I've not recognized and that I've made to myself, right? Because it often is a long list. And many of them are going to be business stuff. You're doing a lot with HTM, right? You're doing a lot with me, right? There's a lot of business stuff there, but there's also personal life steps. So you get it all out on paper, you see it, bring it to the light of day. And then you look at it and you order it. The universe loves order because it's not a random universe. It's an ordered universe. And if you can bring yourself into order, you're working along with the force, if you will, okay?
Okay.
You're working with the universe, not at counter purposes. You're going with the flow. So you need to bring order to this. So what of these are actually like mission critical? What are the most fun to do? What would be easy to do, right? You want to kind of categorize them, and then depending on, you know, what you need in the moment, do you need a bunch of small wins to get the momentum going? Then do a bunch of the little easy ones, okay? And tick them off the list. If you have reached an exasperated level with, I don't know, the mess in your closet, I'm making it.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't have to make that up.
Okay. I psychically attuned to that. Then you go do that, okay? Even though it may not be the most important thing, it's draining your energy because you're looping back to it over and over and over again, okay? And then you want to look at the move the needle things, and you want to do some of those big ones first. But, of course, you can't do all of them at once. So you need to put time on your calendar, back to that, and decide this is, you know, I teach in the boot camp sprints. This is my sprint for this week. This is my sprint for the next 2 weeks. This is my main thing that I'm dialing in, okay? And you put them in order so that then you're in integrity with yourself again. You're not saying to yourself, I'm supposed to do 50 things when I'm doing these 2 major things this week, okay? That's what I'm getting done. And of course, you'll do more, right? Like you just inevitably will. Your brain is committed to those. Your mind is committed to those 2 things. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be kind of a project. The one last thing for me that I'm thinking is
but wait, let's pause there. That project can be 15, 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
No, don't make this a 3-hour thing. Okay. This can be really straightforward.
True.
Okay.
I'll just throw it up onto a piece of paper.
Like,
barf it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to improve on this piece of it, like trying to be a little bit more integrity and not allowing a thought to become a commitment, like an internal commitment. I guess it's just a process, just, you know, keep at it, like forgive and keep at it, forgive and keep at it, forgive and keep at it. Just because, you know, that's such a habit of mine that I just need to get that, you know, that I need to get that broken, you know, become more friendly with my calendar, realize that, you know, there's an expression, you don't buy the book. If you buy the book, you've also bought the time to read the book, kind of thing. So being a little bit more careful about, I guess this is a little bit about cleaning up your word, right? So this is what I would like to do next, is because I realize now that it's such a waste, that like it's such a waste to just generate all these thoughts and all these fancy commitments, and then it undermines my self-confidence. Like I can't trust myself anymore when I do that.
Yeah, the thing is that you're always going to have a lot of desire because we're human beings, and we always have desire. And so you have a desire for a clean house. You have a desire for a new puppy, and you have a desire to get that application in. These are all great things. You need to then just order them, okay?
Right.
Because
the
guilt comes because you've said everything has the same priority. It all has to be done now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like now I can kind of see the difference between a desire and something, and there's a difference between the desire and commitment. And it's okay to have desires all over the place. Some of them are not even really desires; they're just kind of wants. But you know, like desires can come, and commitments you need to be more careful about that, because it builds integrity. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Right.
So you have these desires, they all go on the list, and then you get to commit to when that happens, okay? That's I'm doing that sometime this weekend, okay? Or I'm doing that Saturday morning.
Okay.
Or that is definitely, these are my top 2 priorities for this week. These are my top 2 priorities for next week. Wow, I've got the next month mapped out. That's easy. Okay, great.
Yeah. I love that bolder. Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I love that bolder image. In other words, like, you take a couple of big things that you're really kind of thinking about, and whether or not they take a lot of time or whether they're just big in your mind, you put those on your next week, like when you're planning. You put those on you say, look, these are the things that I'm going to do. I don't have to do them right this minute, but on Tuesday I'm doing this, on Thursday I'm doing that. They're as good as done because I've made that clear. I'm not going to let anything else get in my way. Now I can also order these other things around that thing that may or may not be, and then buffer, put in buffer time for stuff that pops up. And that, yes, that's a way. I haven't been doing that, so maybe that seems like a really good way to start to structure these things.
It's like if you put all the sand in the cup first,
you
can't fit anything else in. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's where I would like to kind of focus next, because I don't feel a whole lot of blocks right now, but I do feel a little confusion and disorder.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that I can start to tackle.
Absolutely. I think that's a great next step. I like that.
Perfect. I'm so excited for the summit.
Oh, good. I'm so excited for the summit too.
I bet.
It's going to be so good. And yeah, there's so much good stuff. I just started going. My brain started going. Yeah, it's going to be great. What else was I going to ask you? Did you figure out the immersion coaching plan?
I have that on my I had that initially bouldered on my calendar for next week.
Okay.
So that's my plan is to what I'll do over it's funny because the LQ, the live quarterly meeting for HTM, is focusing on financials and numbers and things like that. So it's going to be a nice space to just immerse in numbers and finances and how to move things around and things like that. So I anticipate lots of inspiration, and that's a good place for me to be.
Okay.
To get out for next week. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So I just want to roadmap this. We're on the 23rd, and if we figure this out next week, that'll be
I'm thinking
30th.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfect, because that'll give us enough time to put it all through and make sure it happens.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Good stuff.
Good. All right.
I like it. Okay.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Onward and upward. Have a
anything
wonderful weekend.
Yeah, you too. Okay. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us for Coaching Uncut. If you loved what you learned today, please leave us a comment and let us know. We always love a thumbs up or a 5-star review, so thank you in advance for that. And if you want to take your life and your business to the next level and it's time to scale, please reach out to us and schedule a consult at theunstoppablewoman.com/next level. So that's theunstoppablewoman.com/next level. See you in the next episode. Rock it out and be unstoppable.